Hi everybody, hope you're all good. I have not been on this channel honestly for like months, since like the beginning of the Euros or something like that, like even before that, because I said I was going to do watch alongs and content and then just never ended up doing any watch alongs or any content, so I'm very sorry about that. I don't know if anyone cares. If you do, I'm sorry. If you don't, then that's okay too, because clearly I did not care enough either. Let me just put some of this on because I'm drinking coffee. So my lip gloss is all off as well. We've got a couple of people tuned in already, so that's amazing. I've just seen who's won Love Island. If anyone's bothered about Love Island, I've just not been bothered about Love Island whatsoever this series. Fear completely ruined it for me. Like, and the way everyone was backing her, and like she should have been removed for her behaviour in Love Island. That's plain and simple, in my opinion. She should have been removed from the villa. And Teddy deserves better. But you know what? He laid his bed. If he wants to be treated like that for the rest of his life, then, well, not that they'll last forever, but you know what I mean. And obviously, as well, I did just delay this stream a little bit because of Love Island finale and also because of the West Ham game, which I've just seen it beat Leicester 4-1. Like, what the hell? That's twice. That's 2 games now they've won. Like, they've scored 4 goals. So be very, very, very interested to see what they do this season, because obviously Lingard towards the end of last season revitalized them. So I don't know, like, if they've just, did they even sign anyone? I can't think off the top of my head if who they signed. Craig Dawson. Did they sign Craig Dawson? I think they did, you know. Anyways, that's another thing, but I can't believe that result. That's crazy. But yeah, they beat us 4-2, beat Leicester 4-1. So we will see what happens. On the subject of Newcastle United as well, I don't know if any Newcastle fans are in the chat or whatever, but we're just going to run through the game a little bit on Saturday, because I have spoke about it a little bit on Midnight Vibes over on the Terrace, which is obviously every Sunday at 11 o'clock, regardless if it's called Midnight Vibes. It used to be at midnight, but we all used to get super tired, so we decided it would be at 11. But yeah, if you want to go and check that out as well, I'll leave the link in the description below. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Yeah, Newcastle on Saturday. Like, if you don't support Newcastle, like, can you let me know in the comments where you actually think we will be the end of the season? Because I think a lot of people are expecting relegation. I'm expecting relegation, but to be fair, people are going to say, well, you said this all of last season as well. And nothing happened. We were 12th, a very unexpected 12th, let's be honest. But this season, like, I just don't look great. Like, I know it's only 2 games in and everyone's going to say it's super premature and like whatever, but at the same time, like, our squad, we're not going to make any more signings. That's been made pretty much clear. There's no squad space. Like, what, the likes of Jeff Hendrick still getting there, who don't even play anywhere. And we're not going to make any more signings. So Joe Willock's the only one right now, which I love Joe. Come on, you Maggie. He's like, I love him anyway. But we needed like at least 4 signings, I think, to do anything and improve. So for me, like, it's just not enough. We will see, and I'm normally pretty premature. And my reverse judge, if anyone follows me on Twitter, knows that this hair's really annoying. Knows that my reverse judge is really mad. If I say someone's shit, they end up scoring. If I say someone's great, they end up having an absolute stinker. Like Bruno Fernandes, by the way. If anyone plays FPL and captain Bruno or Salah this weekend, which is exactly what I did, I captain Bruno and vice captain Salah because of last week. Sorry to that man, because he did nothing. If you captained Ings, If you captained Ings, stroke of genius. If you captained Rafinha, stroke of genius. If you captained Michail Antonio, stroke of genius. Anyone else who captained Bruno, because I think probably a lot of people would have captained Bruno, then I'm sorry, because I did as well. So my FPL, to be honest, I'll have a look right now what my FPL points are. It's probably about 25. So, 48. I got 50. No, I didn't I'm lying. What did I get last week? I got 79 last week, and I'm on 48 points this week. 48 points. That's a joke. If anyone knows how to play FPL properly, and actually get points, please let me know, because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. To be fair, I did. So I'll probably get 50 points because Thiago Silva didn't play, so he's got 0. So I've got Livramento on the bench, who will probably go in place of Thiago Silva in terms of points. And I also had Callum Wilson, who, what did he do apart from nothing? Miss a one-on-one chance. So yeah, if someone knows how to play FPL, please let me know, because I want to win money. Because us at the Terrace have like a with fan team have a thing where you can win like 200 grand if you come first, and you double your money if you come in the top like so many points, so many places. So that is amazing. But yeah, let's have a look, because I know I did ask you where everyone thought Newcastle were going to come. So we've got 12th to 14th. Honestly, Ryan, I think that's probably a little bit what's the word? Optimistic. 15th, yeah, I don't think we'll be any higher than 15th. Yeah, Conrad says 15th as well. 2 and 15th. Look, I'll take 15th. I'll honestly take 17th as long as we stay up, because going down is just like the worst feeling in history. Honestly, if anyone supports clubs here who've gone down at the Championship, like I always say, and if anyone's watched my streams before, I have said that the Championship is probably one of my favourite seasons as a Newcastle fan, like with Rafa Benitez. But I think that was it. It was with Rafa Benitez. It was with a bunch of players that actually wanted to play for the manager and for the club. And the away days are always good in the Championship, but it's not nice being there. You get so lost with like Premier League crack. Like you just don't know what's going on, to be honest. Newcastle, we've finished 14th. Shout out Holly as well. Go and check Holly's channel out as well if you can. Spurs fan, amazing content as well. She thinks 14th, 17th, just above Arsenal. Where we're going. Yeah, we'll get onto Arsenal in a minute. Actually, we'll get onto Arsenal shortly, because we are above you guys at the moment. Interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure what we need really, to be honest. Right now, we've got Southampton next at home. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm just so done with the season. We're 2 games in. Like that is honestly where I'm at right now. I'm so done with the season. But to be fair to Arsenal, I don't really know where you guys go from here. I know obviously Aubameyang just recently came back in the last game from COVID, wasn't it? And Lacazette's to come back. I don't know whether they're going to make much of a difference. But like Arsenal's recruitment to me always seems like super strange. Like you spend 50 million on Ben White when you've got Saliba there, who I know Arsenal fans rate pretty highly. And people who watch him play rate him quite highly. So why go and spend 50 million on a defender that you've really already got at home? Like there's Rice at home. Obviously not Declan Rice, but you know, Rice at home. Why go and spend 35 million on Odegaard, who scored 2 goals last season, but let a Joe Willock go for 25 million, who is an academy graduate, local boy, like would have loved the chance to play for his club. Like I'm not complaining about that, just from a business point of view. Like it doesn't really make any sense to me. Extending the likes of Xhaka's contract, who was going to Roma at the beginning of the summer. Like what happened there? I honestly have no idea what happened there. But you know, well, you've got like Lucas Torreira back from like Atleti as well, who he's going to Fiorentina as far as I know. So I don't know. I think the recruitment's been a little bit strange for a good few years now. And like Pepe, 72 million on Pepe. That's crazy, isn't it? And how much was Partey? Was Partey about 40 mil? Was he more than that? I don't know. But yeah, that's crazy. Someone's on about the protests, but I don't know. I saw there was meant to be one, but I don't think there was. I don't think anyone did that. But to be fair, same with Newcastle. There was meant to be a protest outside the Milburn stand at our home game last week, and there was nothing. And I sit in the Milburn stand, so there was absolutely nothing going on there. So yeah, and obviously there's Carabao Cup games this week. Yeah, as Adam says there, start the Carabao Cup journey. So we play Burnley on Tuesday. Oh God, is it Tuesday tomorrow? Yeah, so we play Burnley. Oh, friggin' fantastic! Or is it tomorrow? Wednesday we play. Sorry, it's Wednesday. We play Burnley on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that either, to be honest. Burnley Brexit football is the scariest type of football ever. Really, it truly is. But yeah, I don't really... Oh, Partey was 45 million. That's crazy. I know there's a couple of questions in the comments as well. Go and check out Charlie's channel as well, One Rovers Vlogs, if you follow EFL or anything like that. There's loads of content on there, so go and check that out as well. Sorry, I am getting onto everyone's comments. I didn't think so many of you would join me, so thank you so much. That's actually so nice. It's so nice to see everyone again, speak to everyone, because, as I say, yeah, I'm not truly great at keeping up with content on this channel, but I promise that I will do more this season. But yeah, I've got a couple of comments about Atletico in here as well, so I will just address that, because obviously we did also win 1-0 at the weekend against Elche. To be honest, I don't actually know how to say Elche. I think it's Elche, but I don't know. But anyways, we did win. But Diego Simeone has decided to do this odd, this really, really strange lineup system at the moment. We've got Lodi, who is a left back. That's absolutely fine. We've got Trippier, who is a right back. And last season, we quite solely relied on we played different formations, because obviously we had a COVID outbreak in January and February, and the likes of Felix was out. Trippier got his ban, so he was out for 10 weeks. There was certain things that went wrong, so the formation changed. But 4-4-2 is classic Diego Simeone. For some reason, lately, I'm honestly not entirely sure what's going on, but he's playing Saul at left back, and then he's playing Llorente as a striker, who would normally be a right winger or a right wing back. And then Suarez is on the bench. Again, strange. And just playing random things are going on. Carrasco is playing as a striker as well, but he would normally be a left winger. So honestly, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the system at the moment, because Suarez seems to be a substitute, which is mad to me, because we're actually in the market for a striker as well. Can I just say, first of all, my attitude completely changed when I'm talking about Atletico to Newcastle, because they actually have ambition, and I'm so excited for this season, because we actually are a team that have ambition, and Newcastle are just dead in the water at the moment, and just no positivity around it. I feel I'm probably going to focus a lot more of my attention and my emotions on La Liga this year, because it just gives me more excitement. It's better to watch. Obviously, the whole Messi saga, that's not happening anymore, because he's gone to PSG, so he's not going to bring a lot of viewers into La Liga, which he has done in previous years. So that's going to be strange to watch, because I'm not even sure how Barcelona are going to cope this year or anything like that. I'm not sure what's going on there. I know they've obviously signed a couple of players like Depay and stuff, and Aguero, but also, how funny was Aguero? He went there for Messi, and then Messi left. That is so funny. But anyways, yeah, I'm so much more excited for La Liga this year. And yeah, I just want positivity, because I don't want to sit there and talk depressing shit about Newcastle all the time, because it does honestly wear you down. It wears you down in everyday life. So when you're content creating and you're doing podcasts and YouTube and radios and stuff about Newcastle, and it's your daily life that you have to live, honestly, it's a nightmare. It's an actual nightmare. It just depresses you and makes you so down. So I really just don't even want to focus on that this year, to be quite honest. It's just boring. Anyways, I have ranted on enough. Sorry, everyone. So what I will do is I'll go right back to the top, because there's been a couple of questions, and I'll answer a couple of questions, because I did say it's just going to be a casual catch up with everyone. If you want a topic you want to chat about, let me know. If you want my opinion on anything, let me know. Also, Love Island winners, Liam and Millie. Yeah, as I say, the whole series is just shit, to be honest. I don't even know how Faye and Teddy got to the final. I don't even know how she was still in there. She just ruined the whole series for me. Anyways, let's get some of your questions going off Atleti, because I know a couple of people have asked me about Saul in the comments. So I will get onto that. At the beginning of the window, so just to let everyone know, that Saul has probably wanted to leave Atleti for about 2 years. He really wants to play in the Premier League. As far as we're aware, Manchester United has always been his choice of where he wants to play. That's quite a well-known fact. He has spoken about it on several occasions, not to disrespect Atletico at any point, because he's like Atletico through and through. But not to disrespect Atletico, but he has always said he wants to play in the Premier League. Now, at the beginning of the window, obviously, Manchester United were focusing on Sancho, so Saul was never mentioned. And he hasn't actually been mentioned very minimally throughout this whole window with regards to Manchester United. At first, it was Liverpool. Now, when Gini Wijnaldum left, I said that Saul would be the perfect 8 replacement for Gini, because it's just like an 8 for an 8. Although Saul is a utility midfielder, so he can play probably in 6 positions across midfield. He can play at the base. He can play as an attacker midfielder. He's quite good, but he's best as an 8. That's where he's best centrally. That's where he plays for Diego Simeone most of the time. I know for some reason he was playing as a left back the other day. I don't know why, but yeah, that's where he's best. So I thought in my head, him to come into Liverpool's midfield as a replacement for Gini was perfect. Like, it was the ideal replacement. And that for me was like, okay, I want him to get Premier League football. I want him to enjoy it. And I would be quite happy with him going to Liverpool. I have this little weird agenda against Man United for some reason. Not for some reason, it's the fans that annoy me more than anything. I do have some very close friends who are Man United fans, but honestly, like, the way that some of the fans go on, like, they've got the worst owners in history, like, and I just look at lower league teams who've massively struggled for like years and years. Not even Premier League teams like Newcastle or West Ham, for example, like the Mansfields, the Bury, not Mansfield. Was it Mansfield or Macclesfield? I can't remember. Anyways, like the Rochdales who are currently going through it now. And I just think, like, read the room. Like, you have bad owners, like, in terms of, fair enough, like, they've took money out of the club that no one's seen. Like, you know, they're not, but they are investing still. You're still a fighting team. You're still relatively successful. You've not finished outside of the top 6, have you? And if you have, then fair enough, but not very often. So, like, just read the room a little bit. Anyways, that's why I hate Man United. So, yeah, going back to Saul. Today, obviously, as a lot of the comments have mentioned, and as this comment says here, shout out M200, there's massive links to Chelsea and Saul at the moment. When I really deep down think about it, I don't understand where Saul fits into Chelsea, because he's almost like, how can I explain it? He's like a hybrid of Kante and Mason Mount, because he can play at the base, he can play as a DM, and he has done several times in the past, but he's very good, an attacker-minded midfielder. If you give him the ball, obviously we saw what he did in the Champions League a few years ago. Phenomenal. That clip always goes viral, and I did see a few people the other day saying, oh, that's the only clip he's ever done good. No, honestly, if you watch Saul as a midfielder, 2 years ago he was called the most complete midfielder in Europe by several outlets. It wasn't just like, you know, Spanish outlets or Atletico Madrid outlets or whatever like that. He was genuinely called the most complete midfielder in Europe, and he still has elements to his game of that. It's just he's not the way Simeone's played in the past 2 seasons, especially specifically, because I think that's where maybe some people have felt like he's declined. Because as I say here, following on for M200's comment, 2019 was his peak, if you will. 2017, 2019 was his peak. The way Simeone's played in the past few seasons with this 4-4-2 situation and the recruitment, because we've been quite heavy-handed on the midfield recruitment. Obviously, Thomas Lemar has come in. You know, Koke has always been an element. Kondogbia has come in. I can't think off the top of my head just specific people, but we have lost the likes of Partey. Llorente obviously came in 2 seasons ago, who took most of that role up because he does play centrally as well. So Saul, he's started and he's played, but he just hasn't been that specific attacking creative outlet in the centre, which he used to be. So that's maybe where everyone thinks he's declined, because he hasn't been that sole focus anymore, because the athletic DNA has changed in the last 2 years, where we're not that parked bus team anymore. Sometimes we are, especially when we want to play pragmatic football in the tournament, and in European football. But in general, our defensive and offensive output is 50-50 now. So the dynamics have changed. So that leaves Saul a little bit out in the cold, because he's expected to do both jobs, which he can do, but that's not really what he wants to do, I don't think. So that's why I'm confused at the Chelsea links, because I'm not entirely sure where he would fit in, despite the fact he could fit in anywhere. Does that make sense? Like, just because he can fit in anywhere doesn't mean to say he will. Unless they're going to lose the likes of Kovacic or, you know, someone like that. Unless they're going to play Saul in with Kante and Jorginho, then I'm not entirely sure. But if he does go to the Premier League, I'll be more than happy, because I just want him to enjoy. And obviously people are talking about a loan. We've signed Rodrigo de Paul. So like, who had a great Copa America. So, you know, we're a bit stacked in midfield at the moment. So maybe he is surplus to requirements right now, but I just want him to enjoy and have a good time in the Premier League if he comes. And if not, we get to keep hold of him. That's amazing, because we did have an injury crisis last year and lost a couple of players. So, you know, either way, I think it's a win-win for us at this point. And yeah, I just think it's great. Sorry, everyone. For some reason, my StreamYard has just deleted loads of comments. So if anyone's asked any questions before, like, 20 to 11, they've gone. So I'm really sorry. I'll shout out Mike from the Blue Boys as well. Please go and check their channel out. Amazing Everton channel and such good vibes. I love doing streams with them, guys. Absolutely love it. So please go and check them out as well. Will Newcastle finish above Arsenal? No, I think it's premature with Arsenal. I don't think they're going to get a good finish this season, but they'll definitely finish above us. And a couple of people are still saying 17th as well. So yeah, definitely. Conrad says here he's in the mud with FPL. He got -1. Yeah, I'm in the mud. Well, I'm not in the mud necessarily. I think I've got 50 points, but it's still not great, is it? Like, I've got leagues as well. And what I'll do is as well, if anyone wants the code to my FPL league, I will put that in the description box below, like post show as well, so everyone can go and join that if you want to do that. You'll do better than my team, Borough. On FPL, I got 52 and then 28 points this week. Okay, so that's an improvement. That's good. See, mine's gone downhill, which is never good. Virgilio Center says, what do you think of Newcastle trying to buy Kabak? You know what? On my life, I'm not even screwing my face up for signing anybody this window. Anyone who comes in, please. Genuinely, that's how bad it is, because we have no squad depth whatsoever. So if we're going to sign anybody, I don't even mind. I genuinely don't even mind. It was like not that great for Liverpool last season, I must admit, but honestly, we need whatever we can get at this point. That's God's honest truth. Whatever we can get. So I would bring him in personally for me. Obviously, there was talks of like Chowdhury. For some random reason, there's been a stupid rumour that James Rodriguez is coming to Newcastle. Not on, I would bet my entire, I'm not going to do that just in case it does happen, because weirder things have happened. I would honestly bet my entire house on the fact that we will not sign James Rodriguez this window. He doesn't even care about Everton. He's not going to freaking care about Newcastle, is he? He didn't even know who Everton were playing this weekend. Like, that's a shambles from a professional footballer. He just sits on COD and does his hair. Like, that's just, no, absolutely not. Imagine James Rodriguez managed by Steve Britt. Oh, I can honestly, genuinely dread him. Bring on Burnley in a good League Cup run. To be fair, we usually don't, with Steve Bruce, I'm saying usually, we've done quite well in the Carabao Cup for the last 2 seasons. Well, by our standards. So, like, quarterfinals. So, you know, not too bad. King Ragnar says he only been watching Newcastle once. It was Jonas's last game for the clubs and the fans were amazing. You deserve so much better. Yeah, thank you for that, because a lot of, for some reason, people say that Newcastle fans are delusional and we expect too much. But honestly, it's untrue. We are not delusional. We're actually probably one of the most realistic fan bases that I know. Maybe that's because I'm amongst it. But we don't expect Champions League football. We don't expect Europa League football. Honestly, I think if we finished 10th right now, we would be over the moon. Like, genuinely over the moon. I was so happy with 12th last season. Like, that's where we're at as a club right now. And it doesn't have to be like that. We've got the money and the personnel and the fans and the stadium to be up there, but we're just not. And it's never going to be up there. And the likes of Leeds and stuff are doing way better than us right now. So, yeah. Newcastle will remain in the Premier League. 14 is my prediction. I'll take 14th. Quite happily take 14th. Proud to be a Geordie says, I love Newcastle, but I want us to go down. I'm sick of Bruce and Ashley. I'm done with them. Even if it means doing a Sunderland to get them out, I'll do it. See, that's my worry. I don't want to go down. I'll quite happily withstand season after season, as long as we're in the Premier League, of Bruce and Mike Ashley, because once you're down there, look how bad it's taken Sunderland 3 years to try and get out of League One. And they've got a huge stadium, huge fan base, a bit of a dumb fan base, but a huge fan base. And they had a takeover as well that didn't go well. He's obviously tried to sell the club since. I don't know if he did or not. But I don't want to do that, because I honestly think if we spiral down there, look, we'd have to give up the stadium. There's no way you could have a 52,000 seater stadium in League One. I know it's probably unlikely to happen, but you just couldn't. I honestly don't even think I could handle that. Here, most underrated player according to you. Oh, that's hard, because obviously that could be across anywhere, really. Premier League, there's a few. Honestly, Premier League for me is Azpilicueta from Chelsea. I think he's more solid. What a transfer that has been over the last... How long has he been at Chelsea now? Is it 6 years? Maybe more. It could be more. He's been at Chelsea for a long time. And honestly, he's won literally practically everything with the club. He's always been a part of it as well. He's never been no one's seen him for a good part of the season. He's a captain. He's a leader. I just think he is so underappreciated as a vital part of Chelsea's squad that he, for me, is so underrated. And they didn't even pay for that much for him when they got him either. So yeah, Azpilicueta for me all day long. Oh, Azpilicueta. Don't laugh. Honestly, I think I'm Spanish when I'm talking about Spanish football. I am learning Spanish, so I'm trying to be a bit better with my pronunciations. But yeah, everyone laughs. My brother always laughs when I pronounce Atletico, because he's so Atletico Madrid. I'm like, no, that's really not it. Or Roji Blanco, and he always laughs at me. Can we ever visit South Africa? Yeah, I would happily visit South Africa. I've always wanted to do some, wildlife trips in Africa, because I think that's the best place to see them in their natural habitat and stuff. So yeah. That was a Saul question that I've answered. Being above Arsenal isn't an achievement at the moment, to be honest. We are that bad. Look, it'll get better. I think it's maybe time, and I know I'm not saying Arsenal fans should lower their expectations in terms of what they expect the club to achieve or what they would like to achieve as a club, but it's just better, speaking from experience, it's better for your own mental sanity as a football fan to just accept that maybe that's where you're at right now, you're not in the best position, and not to expect to get top 8 this season, because I still think you're going to get top 10, definitely, but it's just probably better to expect the worst, because then you're not as disappointed. I do think Arteta will be sacked soon if a win doesn't come in the next 2 games. I think he will be gone, because realistically, there's absolutely no point in him being there if you cannot improve the squad. You've had 2 years rebuilding phase. You've got all the tools and the utilities and the money at your disposal. I know you're obviously not as rich as the likes of Man City, for example, but you have got the tools, and we've seen this from you guys from the last, before the last 4 years. We've seen consistent top 6, top 4 finishes. So you have got the tools to be that club. It's just, for whatever reason, Arteta isn't coaching the players properly. The recruitment process is poor. The owners aren't really too bothered. They're more bothered about their NFL teams and stuff. So, it's just an amalgamation of things, and that's what you don't want. You don't want a stirring pot of all problems, because then it creates the biggest problem, which is not being able to compete with the teams that you should be around. So as I say, I think you'll be fine. It's just certain problems have got to be sorted out at this point. So yeah. Who will win the league? For me, it's between Man City and Chelsea. I can't actually give you an answer right now because I had Man United up there, but seeing the way that they performed against Southampton was a complete shadow of how they performed against Leeds. And I thought they looked dangerous. Now, I do still think they've got a chance. Don't get us wrong. They'll absolutely get top 4, probably top 2. But I just think they need to figure it out. Ollie needs to figure it out because some of the players, like Fred, for example, can have one amazing game and then one a shambles game and then has 10 a shambles games. So they need to figure it out as far where we're at right now, where they're at right now. So yeah. Forest fan here, where we'll be going down to League One at the end of the season. Chris Hughton sucks, 4 straight defeats, 0 points. Yeah, I've got a little bit of an affinity to Nottingham Forest because I'm close with a couple of the players who play for Forest. So yeah, I feel bad for you guys. I feel really bad for Chris Hughton because I love Chris Hughton. Before Rafa, he's probably one of my favourite managers in the last 10 years at Newcastle. God, it will be actually 10 years as well since he had us, because it was the last time we were in the Championship. So yeah, I feel for him, but obviously if he's not doing a good job, a team like Nottingham Forest shouldn't be at the bottom of the Championship. I'm going to be honest, you shouldn't be at the bottom of the Championship. I'm not saying you probably should be in the Premier League right now because I don't think you should, but you should be competing in the Championship. So yeah, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you turn it around and hopefully Chris Hughton does well because I really like Chris Hughton. I just think he's a great bloke. So yeah, we'll see. Burnley on Wednesday though, can't wait to see Joe Linton hoof it in Elisa's Park. Do you know what? Joe Linton always does pretty well in the cup games. He always has a couple of goals. I genuinely have stuck up for him quite a lot over the last season because I think his holding play is good. I personally think he's probably more suited as a centre mid. I don't think he's a winger. I don't think he's a striker or even a forward at all, to be honest. I think he's probably a centre mid. That's my opinion because his holding play and his interceptions and his tackles are really good. It's just he's not a striker and that's what we bought him for, which is a shame. But after his antics last week and his stupid quotes, which he said that he would love to play for a top 6 team and that Newcastle are below all the others that he would like to play for because he wants to play Champions League football and he wants to get into the Brazil team. If you've had a bad season, now I understand players wanting to move on from clubs who aren't successful. I completely understand that. I'm not naive. I'm quite realistic and I understand that. But when you are already having a tough time at a club that paid £40 million for you, and yes, that price tag's not his fault, but if you're having a tough time at a club and you've had issues playing for that club, you have made stupid decisions like going for a haircut at the very height of COVID. I don't know why, as a football player, when you're literally coached to answer certain questions, you've got PR managers, you've got, agents there who coach players in answering these questions, why you would go and say things like that. And there was people defending him saying like, oh, he was asked on the spot. He was like, that was his answer because he was asked and he didn't know he was going to be asked that. Yes, but you know how to answer them questions. You're a professional footballer at the highest level. And you are coached to answer specific questions like that is to not get yourself in hot water. So I'm not even entirely sure why he said that. Even if he said, oh, that coffee's cold now because I've ranted on that much. Even if he said like, oh, I'm really happy with where I am and I love playing for Newcastle. I love the fans. But, I would love to be more successful in the future and play Champions League football, blah, blah, blah. That would have been a better answer than what he said because he just completely disregarded Newcastle altogether. I mean, fair enough to him, but you've got to have some apathy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to be empathetic to the situation. And anyways, because look what happened to Musa Sissoko. Said, oh, I want to play Champions League football. Actually played Champions League football. So that was the best example because he played Champions League football with Tottenham, Lou. But that wasn't the best example. But you know what I mean? He hasn't done anything since, has he? Let's be honest. So yeah. Bonkers LFC says sell one striker and get a new one. Is that to Newcastle or is that to Liverpool? I'm not sure there. We can't sell a striker. We only have Gale and Wilson. We'll be absolutely frigging struggling if we sell a striker. Jesus Christ. Good evening, Daniel. Shout out to you as well. Do you think it's a possibility for Newcastle to get relegated this season or next season? Yeah, I think it's a possibility this season. I honestly think a couple of the clubs who are already like Premier League regulars, so like Crystal Palace, Burnley, Southampton, Newcastle, Wolves even are going to struggle this season. And we're probably going to see better football from the likes of Brentford. Obviously, I think Norwich will probably struggle as well, but bless them, they have had Liverpool and Man City to play in the first 2 games, which is, not helpful. Yeah, as Mike says here, sell Martinez and a season later spending more on Ramsdale, dead club. Yeah, their recruitment process at Arsenal is just so strange. Yeah. Mr. Arsenal says that he's got a worse owner than Mike Ashley. I don't think you've got a worse owner, personally, in my opinion. But as I say, we're speaking from personal point of views. I do think you don't have a great owner for a club like Arsenal. But, it is what it is at this point. Where are we at? Sorry, I'm going back through the comments because loads of comments have come through that I wasn't expecting, so I'm going back through them now. Someone said they'd rather spend 72 million on Pepe's takeaway than instead of Pepe the footballer. Yeah, you know what? I always have this little thing, and people like say that I'm like a Chelsea agent or like whatever, because I always have this thing like I want players who have come into a club and done quite badly to go away and do well. That's what I think. Like Tammy Abraham of Chelsea now, I so want him to smash it at Roma. Tomori was the same because I thought he was phenomenal, and I don't even still understand to this day why he didn't get in the England squad. But I just want them to do well because I just think footballers are humans as well, and I just want people to succeed. I'm not like a hater. I don't want to see people fail. I really don't. A couple of people asking how they donate. I don't have a donation necessarily as such. I mean, there's Cashapp there that'll go towards my channel and stuff like that. If you want to do that, it is in the link, the description below. Sorry, but yeah, I don't have donations as such. I don't have like member of the channels or anything like that. And plus, my Twitter isn't monetized yet either. It's only monetized Spaces at the moment. So, yeah, that's all I can say on that. Sorry, guys. Yeah, recruitment again about Arsenal. I've answered the underrated player. Have Arsenal got West Brom in the cup? Is that who they've got? I turned the draw off the other night after I saw who Newcastle got. So, to be fair, West Brom didn't they just win 4-0 at the weekend? You could be in for a wild ride there. Shout out Roberto as well. Go and follow Roberto on Twitter as well because he's an amazing journalist. Does loads of massive football content. So yeah, go and check Roberto out as well. Great guy. Chris is asking here when are you and the other girls going to start ladies night again. It's not called ladies night anymore for obvious reasons. It is called How Are the Lasses podcast, and it is a Newcastle podcast. We are starting again. It's just honestly the football's been so dross. Like we haven't even been asked to talk about. Like the attitude has just been horrific towards it. Like we don't even want to speak negatively anymore. But I will get onto the girls and I will force them to start it again because to be honest it's hard for me as well. But yeah, we will get onto them and we'll start it again for sure, probably next week as well. Conrad says here, 26 likes, everyone keep hitting the like button. Hit it if you love seeing Kendall back on her personal channel. Thank you so much. Yes, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. And I know I'm really shit at keeping up with content. I'm very sorry about that. But we will try this season. I'm going to say try it because when I promise stuff, it never fucking happens, does it? So never happens. So yeah. Oh, here's a good question. Which fan base is the most toxic in England? So obviously from personal experience, Newcastle United's fan base is horrendous. We're constantly at each other. We never agree on anything at all. Me and like a couple of other podcasters are hated by everyone for some reason. I don't really know why, because you would think that we're bringing like Newcastle United to the forefront of like fan channels and stuff. Like I was invited to go and do the overlap with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher and Roy Keane the other day for Sky Bet, which was like honestly the most amazing experience. And if I hadn't started this podcasting and stuff, I would never have got there. And we actually got a massive chunk of the show as well on Sky Bet. So if you want to go and check that out as well, which is amazing, I will leave that link in the description. I think I've said that about 40 times tonight, but I will leave that link in the description if you want to go and check that out. So, you know, if that didn't happen, and we weren't podcasting, that would have never happened. So I don't really know why everyone's upset. I understand, like toxicity about fan cams and podcasters and stuff, because some people do just ride off the back of clubs and that. And if they do it and they're successful, I mean, fair enough to them. Like, if that's how they're getting somewhere, that's fair enough to them. But I honestly, I'm a genuine person. I genuinely care about Newcastle, and I want the club to be at a higher level and to be brought to the forefront of the issues. So yeah, that's just where I'm at with that. I've lost the comments again, for absolute sake. I've lost the comments again. No, sorry. StreamYard is just so annoying. It's like proper annoying. Sorry if anyone's asked questions and I missed them. If you want to ask them again, please do. Ravi says here, Kendall, do you think Ashley will ever get rid of Bruce or sell up? He is actively trying to sell, and I understand that, but it's took him too long. It's took him 10 years too long to actively sell, which is what I have an issue with. I don't know if he's going to get rid of Bruce. Relegation will hurt his pocket, but I also think at the same time he's not that bothered, because he wants to get rid of the club anyway, and it's probably easier to be sold in the Championship, so he probably sees it as a win-win. So yeah. Esteban asks here, why do you think Torreira fails to get a place under Diego? I really liked it when he was at Arsenal. To be honest, you probably need Torreira back. He's got such an injection of energy and pace, and he's like quite tricky. So maybe you need him back. Maybe that's what you need. You just need like an elevation. I don't know, but he looks like he's going to Fiorentina. I don't know whether that's a loan or permanently. And I don't think he got in Diego, and obviously in our side, because there was players who already did what he did. Like Llorente, for example, Carrasco, Felix, can play on the wing. Correa can play on the wing. So I don't really think that's probably why Saul can play in centre midfield as an attacker midfielder. So that's probably why he didn't get an Atleti squad too much. He did come on as a sub quite regularly last season. But yeah, that's probably why he didn't get a regular starting time. It was just more squad depth situation. Yeah, and as Stu says here, Atletico's transition is far more dangerous now. It absolutely is. Stu also says Liverpool is perfect as workman like 10, same work with greater variety than Ginny. Their Saul bosses it. I absolutely 100% agree, and I'm really surprised that Liverpool haven't pushed further to get him in, because he would be absolutely ideal. Sorry about the refocus of my camera, by the way. Yeah, I'm really surprised that they didn't push further to get that. So yeah. Christian also asks, are there any Newcastle rumours? Just the regulars, as I've said, James Rodriguez, which is never happening. We're not going to get any more permanent signings. It'll just be loan signings, if any, at this point. Chowdhury from Leicester has always been one that's been out there. Things like that, but I honestly don't think we'll bring anybody in right now, so we will see. I hope Man United sign a CDM before the transfer window closes. Yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea. I don't even know if you're in the market for anyone, because I did see obviously Camavinga, but he's not. I don't think he's coming now, but we will see. To be honest, you would do far worse than to go for like the likes of Saul. I don't really know, but anyways, I think Saul will fit into a lot of Premier League club sides. So yeah. Raz says here, obviously based on the Saul comment that I made earlier about Jorginho and Kante, midfield they would work, but Tuchel is a great manager, so he could figure out. Yeah, I think that's a lot of the good thing about Chelsea fans this year. They totally believe in Tuchel and what his vision is for playing this team and the system that he does. So they trust him. They don't moan about the lineups, and honestly, like that goes such a long way. The trust in the manager, because when you trust the manager and what they're going to do, you're more hopeful and more optimistic about getting a result. And it always rubs off. So yeah, I think Tuchel's an amazing manager. Honestly, what is it with me at the moment with Chelsea prop? I'm like, oh, Big Rom, love Big Rom. Like Reece James is amazing. Love Aspilicueta, love Tuchel. There's something wrong with me. I'm like so obsessed with Chelsea at the moment. Maybe because Newcastle is so bad. So yeah. Who would you realistically sign for Newcastle in the next week? Oh, realistically is a push, because I don't even think we could sign anyone. Honestly, at this point, I don't know why we didn't bring like Rondon and Willems back in, because both are out of contract. I think they're free agents, and both would love to come back and play for the club. And I know it's like history repeating itself and stuff, but yeah, I think they would have been great additions, because they would just fit in straight away. I still got friends at the club, like St. Maximin and Willems are quite good friends still. I mean, I would have brought Adam Armstrong back because I think we would have got him at a fraction of the price that he was valued at. Because we had like sell-on clauses, so maybe there was a buyback clause in there. I can't remember, but I think we could have done worse than to bring him back. I would love the likes of Lewis Dunk, for example. I know he's probably not going to leave Brighton; it's unlikely, but yeah. Also, is it Aya? I cannot say his name. Someone tell me how you say his name, but he's just signed for Brentford. He's a centre-back who signed for Brentford. Ajer. I think he's Scandinavian. So is it Aya? Is it Ajer? Is it... I don't know how you say his name. But anyways, him. We were after him for ages, and then we bid. I don't know if we bid or we were interested in a certain amount, and then Brentford got him at like a fraction of what we were apparently interested in him for. So don't know what happened there either. You know, Brentford's got more ambition than us. So I would have loved to sign Liverpool. Obviously, he's gone to Southampton. Tuanzebe, I really wanted Tuanzebe. Like, I was desperate for Tuanzebe. Obviously, went Aston Villa and isn't probably unlikely to get a game there, I don't think, regularly. So absolute horrendous. Here's a little story here. Roman was going to buy Spurs, was in his helicopter and asked his friend what's that. He said it's Stamford Bridge. Roman said, I like that stadium. 2 weeks later on in Chelsea. That's absolutely crazy. I didn't know that. Do you ever think we'll see Felix in the Prem? Nope, I don't, because his release clause is ginormous. I know Atleti will probably let him go for less than what his release clause is. Because it is about 200 and odd million pound, million euros. But yeah, I think they'll let him go for less than that. But I don't think we'll see him in the Prem, not anytime soon at all. Am I happy with the transfers? No, I'm happy with Joe Willock. We haven't done anything else apart from extend the likes of Dwight Gale's contract. So no, I'm really, really not happy. JP says here, there's a guy called Matt on one of the streams that I go on. His nickname is Noodlehead after you called him that on Twitter. Oh, yes, because he was being rude on Twitter, so I called him Pot Noodlehead. So that's actually really funny. Sorry to Matt. That's going to stick with you now. But yeah, shouldn't be rude to people on stream, should you? People on Twitter, I mean. Shout out Zion as well. I haven't spoken to you for ages, Zion, because obviously content's been so poor. But shout out you. I hope you are well. I really hope you are well. Someone's saying be careful, Candle. I don't know why. Maybe I made a funny comment, but I don't know. Hammers behind, armour on St. Maximin, Dwight Gale, Joga Benito. Yeah, it's not happening. I'm going to be honest. The Hammers Rodriguez comment was out of context. Someone in the chat asked him, did he know a player from another team? And James said he doesn't know. It wasn't to do with who they were playing. Oh, I just saw loads on Twitter where it said that even Everton fans were saying that he said he didn't know who they were playing. So I don't know. Oh, shout out Soph as well. Please go and subscribe to Sophie's channel. She is an absolute superstar. Obviously, Guna Gossip TV, Arsenal fan. So yeah, go and subscribe to Soph's channel because she's amazing and she sends amazing regular content out as well. And she's just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous person. So please do it for me. Go and subscribe to her channel, please. Newcastle need the Intertoto Cup back. Yeah, it's the only thing we've won, apart from the Championship. So yeah, we could very, very honestly need that, to be honest. We could do that. I think this 9 years comment was probably about Azpilicueta, so that's amazing. I did not know he'd been at the club for 9 years. That's honestly crazy. John's asking if I completed my Euro sticker book. Do you know what, John? I didn't. Towards the end of the Euros, I just got so distracted with the fact that England were in the final. Like, I just didn't even bother. I haven't even bought any stickers, like any more stickers from like the beginning of June-ish time. So no, I didn't complete it. So yeah. Versus Chelsea fans used to say Jorginho before Tuchel. Yeah, they did. I know a lot of Chelsea fans who actually had a severe hatred for Jorginho, but I honestly, he's up for like UEFA Player of the Year. Ballon d'Or candidate, maybe. So yeah, Tuchel's a fantastic coach. He's been a fantastic coach for a lot of his career. I really do think that German managers and up-and-coming German managers are where it's at. And I think a lot of Prem teams could do worse than to look at young German managers right now because I feel like that's where progressive football is coming from. It used to be Spanish managers, the likes of Pep Guardiola, and now it's becoming like German managers, but like the likes of Nagelsmann, for example. Tuchel. I know you wouldn't call Tuchel young now, but he was at one time and still doing really, really amazing things in Bundesliga. So, yeah, I think he would do worse. And look at young German managers right now. Esteban says you have a teacher. I think that's about Spanish. Yes, if anyone can help me learn Spanish. Roberto does help me quite a lot with certain things, but I am teaching myself, so my grammar may not be perfect about certain things. So yeah, sorry about that. But I am trying to learn. True Guna says here as well, we have to sack Arteta. Yeah, I think it's coming. Honestly, I do think it's coming. But as I say, it's a cauldron of several problems, and Arteta's only, one of them, and probably the easiest one to sort out. But then it's who you're going to get in, because I know Arsenal have a bigger pull than the likes of Newcastle if we sack our manager, because they're Arsenal, they're historically a fantastic, great top 4 club, but just who is going to look at that project and want it at the moment? I think it's a really hard project to take on. The only plus side is that you have spent money, and probably managers are going to come and say, they have got the funds to spend money and they are spending big amounts of money on players. So that might be a good thing. Ian Beddoes says, do you think Kane will leave for City? I said this on Midnight Vibes last night, and I think that Tottenham would be very stupid if Man City came in and offered the money. I think Tottenham would be extremely stupid not to take £150 million for Harry Kane, because they could invest that on 3 £50 million players, decent quality £50 million players into that squad. They're doing all right without him so far. They've had 2 wins. Obviously, Son plays a big part. Dele Alli played a big part against Wolves. They're doing all right without him at the moment. Whether that's sustainable or not, because they did this last season, they started really well and then ended not great. And now they're in the Conference League. So they're doing okay without him at the moment. They're managing. In a year's time, who knows what Harry Kane's going to do this year? We don't know what his form's going to be like, because the way he played for England, he played more as like a 10. He played a deeper role than a number 9. He's going to be 29 by this time next year, nearly 30. He's going to be like at the latter stage of his career. At his peak is what I mean. Not he's going to retire in 2 years, but he's going to be past his peak at that point. So to take £150 million now would be stupid. Not to take that would be very stupid in my opinion. I think it would be a stupid business deal. But Daniel Levy is notoriously harsh about decisions. They missed out, on the likes of, I think it was Michael Carrick, who they keep saying they missed out on a few years ago, more than a few years ago now, because they didn't want to pay that extra money or things like that. So to me, I just think it would be a very stupid decision not to take the money for Harry Kane. So yeah. The comments have gone down at the bottom again. StreamYard, just sort out a better way to make comments. Do like a slow mode or something. I think there isn't there a slow mode for comments? Because there is on YouTube, like where they don't come in as fast, like they only come in every 20 seconds or so. Yeah, as Chris says, does it take much that every club is showing more ambition than Newcastle? Yeah. Ravi asks thoughts on VVD this season. I want Virgil van Dijk to have a good season, because obviously last year it was a tough time, Achilles injury is never good to come back from. But for some reason, Liverpool fans are going on like he was dying. I mean, loads of football players have had Achilles problems. In fact, even Alan Shearer did. So, yeah, it was a bit dramatic. But I know he was an integral part to the team. But I do think defensively, like the likes of Joe Gomez, the likes of Joel Matip, who have done really well for Liverpool anyway. But I do want VVD to have a good season, and I think he's probably only at about 70% fitness now as well. I think there's more to come from him, so hopefully he stays fit and he does okay. Do I think the Saul loan to Chelsea will be done? I don't know. I really don't know. There's been so much talk about Saul leaving, but he's played the last 2 games. And he was actually the only midfielder not to get subbed off in our first game. Every other midfielder got subbed off. So I don't know whether he'll leave. I don't know whether Diego's playing a little game in terms of like, come and get him. Like, I'm trying to show you what he's about. I want someone to come and get him. Or whether he's actually thought to himself, shit, like we might lose him, and he wants him to be a part of the team now. I don't know what El Cholo's situation is right now. But yeah, don't know what that situation is there. Arsenal should have taken Tammy 100%. I agree. I do agree. But I think for Tammy and for his career, with the likes of even like Lukaku, who did the same, Alexis Sanchez, Ashley Young, Chris Smalling, and I'm thinking about players who've got Italy here, but like Fikayo Tomori, loads of them went to Italy and the likes. I know obviously some people have gone elsewhere, but went to Italy and totally revived their career. And they needed that time away from the Premier League in a different setting, in a different paced league, around better, fans who are more supportive, around different managers, and they needed that to revive their career. And I do think that Tammy will come back to the Premier League. I really do think that. Whether it's in a year, whether it's in 3 years, I don't know, but I think he will come back. He's going to thrive under the likes of Jose Mourinho, because Harry Kane, despite the fact of the trouble that Tottenham were having, Harry Kane still thrived under Jose Mourinho. Or Jose Mourinho. So I do think that Tammy needs that time away from the Premier League, because it was just getting toxic. He was getting so much hate, and he was like the highest goal scorer nearly at every club he'd been at in the last 5 seasons. Like, even Chelsea, which is like just insane. I just think he gets so disrespected. I really hope that he has a good season and we see him in the Premier League, maybe at more of his peak, because he is still relatively young. So maybe we'll see him back in the Premier League at 26, 27, when he's smashed it like Lukaku, who has come back and looked really strong in his first game. So yeah, I hope we see that. And I do, as I say, think that he needed that time away. Pepe's stats are not actually that bad, just too high price when you think Rafinha was 70 minutes. Yeah, Leeds' recruitment has been fantastic in the last few years, and we've seen it in the way that they play. So, yeah, Rafinha, that's absolutely great. I think Rafinha is fantastic. Again, guys, if I've missed your comments, I'm so sorry. The StreamYard, as I say, just keeps scrolling at the bottom and I keep missing and just keeps cutting out loads of your comments. So I'm super sorry if I missed them. But I will get to them if I can. Shout out Daniel as well. Thank you so much for that, Daniel. Daniel hosts spaces and stuff on YouTube, on Twitter, so go and check them out sometime as well. Kind of your 40 IQ is decent, really good. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I have touched on this question already. What are your thoughts on Harry Kane's situation? I have touched on what I think he'll do and what I think about the transfer. I think he's handled it badly. I think he's thrown his dummy out the pram. He has thought to himself that it wasn't happening after Man City signed Grealish. Then he came out with, a half-hearted, arsed apology, saying that in fact, he actually didn't really apologise. He just said it wasn't happening, like the rumours weren't true, that he missed training or whatever like that. And I think that was because he thought it wasn't happening anymore and he needed to get back on the fans' good side. If the rumours weren't true, he would have just said immediately that, things weren't happening. He wasn't leaving, like he has done in the past. So yeah, I think he's handled it horrendously for him, because he's seen as the golden boy. People are still backing him up as well, saying like, oh, he's a saint, like he doesn't do much wrong, like the likes of Gary Neville, he doesn't do much wrong, so we can't get onto him, which is absolute bull crap, to be honest. Because if I went to work and didn't show up to work just because the manager said I was allowed to leave, like in a passing conversation, I would be sacked. I wouldn't get my pay. I wouldn't be allowed to work my notice. Just be, you're sacked straight away. So, yeah, it's a shambles of handling the situation. But unfortunately, he's done it now, and there's not really any moving on unless he has a great season for Tottenham and doesn't say anything else. So yeah. Shout out Alexandra. Oh my God, I didn't know you had a channel. New subscriber, big fan of you from seeing you on the Terrace. Oh, thank you so much for that. That means a lot to me. The Terrace is amazing. Please go and check the Football Terrace out if you can. Massive things to come from that. New studios just opened, so we're having shows in the studio on Friday nights. It's just fantastic. Marlon Harewood was the guest on Friday. So please go and check them out. They're absolutely amazing. Great bunch of people. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Alexandra. Really, really appreciate it. Do you think Matt Bonswell will get a chance for Newcastle? He played in pre-season, and I'm going to be honest, he looked quite good. I watched him against Doncaster specifically, and he looked relatively good. I just think he's probably too young at the moment to get a chance, even though we got him from Leipzig, I think. Oh my God, the cold coffee is absolutely vile. I really need a drink. But yeah, did we get him from Leipzig? I think we did. So I think he'll probably be a really good future player, and there's no point in signing a player that, like a young player, if you're not going to advance them any further. So yeah, I hope he gets a chance, but I don't think he'll get a first team chance this season, unfortunately. I really don't. I'm just gonna, sorry guys, I don't know if any of you are mods actually at the moment. I don't think anyone is a mod on this channel, so if you want to be mod, let me know. But sorry, I have just blocked a couple of comments because there's some weird ones coming through. Goku Aniru, I think that's an anime character, says, can City win the league without a striker? Yes, they have. They have won the league without a striker because Aguero didn't really get a chance last season. Jack Grealish and Gabriel Jesus on the wings will be phenomenal, will be amazing anyway. They've got the likes of Raheem Sterling, who scores goals for Ferran Torres, who is a forward player. So I think they'll be fine. They can totally do it. But I think it'll probably be in their best interests to sign a striker because then they don't really have to worry about winning the league without a striker because they have one. So yeah, I think it's probably in their best interests that they sign a striker. Adam Martin asks, as Tottenham fans selling Kane now, asks the question of who to get. Lautaro Martinez is signing a new deal, and so is Vlahovic. Apparently, we'll probably end up with Braithwaite. Hey, I tell you what, Braithwaite and Choupo-Moting have careers that I would only dream of. Like, honestly, Barcelona and PSG, like, come on, man. Sick. I think, isn't Choupo-Moting a Bayern or something now as well? Anyways, yeah, so Vlahovic was an Atleti target as well. We said 80 million, I think, and his agent met with, is it Fiorentina? Yeah, I think he is. His agent met with the club and they were just basically like, no, like we're not happy. He wanted to leave, but the club said like 100 million euros. That's what we want, which I think is insane. No way. I know he's only 21, but I just think that's an insane amount of money. So yeah, that deal's kind of gone cold now, and we're going for Cunha from Hertha instead. I'm very sorry, my Portuguese is atrocious, but yeah, we're going for him instead apparently, which is going to be around 30 million. So we'll see what happens there. So I highly doubt that Vlahovic will be a Tottenham target, unless you're willing to pay around the 80 million to 100 mark, which you might with the Harry Kane money, you might do that. I'm not sure how much Lautaro Martinez would be to buy. I can't remember now, but he was massively like, oh yes, he's got Tottenham, and I thought, well, Kane's gone if you get Martinez. Even though they're different players and they play differently, I still think that there would be no point in playing Martinez, Son, and Kane. There would be not really much point in that to me. So yeah, whether I don't know who you'll get, to be honest. I have seen that who did I just see you were after today for 40 million? Adama Traore, which I can see happening, absolutely. And I know he's not a number 9, but I can see it happening to play alongside the likes of Son because Nuno managed Wolves. So I can see that happening. If there's any Tottenham fans in the comments, let me know if you would be happy with Adama Traore. Because to be fair to me, I just think he's pace and power, P&P. I don't think he's a goal scorer or anything like that. I know he does a lot, and like attacking-wise, he's quite a good player to have in your team because he is creative and he does get the chances. He just doesn't put the chances away. So, we'll see. Raz says here, Spurs could take Gamal Vlahovic if they sell Kane and they need other positions like right back, midfield, winger, especially right back. Yeah, I honestly don't think Vlahovic, unless a team, as I say, is going to come in with at least £80 million bid outright. I don't think he's going anywhere at this current time. The Lone Toffee says, what do you think of Rafa Benitez this season? We have a decent starting 11 compared to most sides. Looks like we're bringing in Joaquin Carrera and we are battling Atletico for Cunha. Can he get Europe? Yeah, I did see that comment today that actually Cunha was quite interested in the project at Everton. Which I made a comment, like it seemed a little bit mad to me that if a league winning club is in for you, and you're probably likely to get game time, because really as forward players, like as the two up front, we only really have Correa and Suarez. I know obviously Felix sometimes plays there, Llorente sometimes plays there, Carrasco sometimes plays there, but realistically on the outlook, he's probably going to get game time at Atletico, and they are likely to win the Liga again this year, and Champions League football as well. So it seemed a little bit mad, just personally on a like black and white paper level, to me, that you would choose the likes of Everton over Atletico, and that's not me being biased. That's just me being like looking at it technically. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, apparently he's really interested in Everton. And it looks like that's maybe where he wants to go. So if you guys can pull that off, amazing. We're fantastic. And under a manager like Rafa Benitez, you're always going to play reliable football. I don't know whether you'll compete. I think it'll be fine because defensively and like having a solid, reliable spine of a team, Rafa Benitez is fantastic at that. He's a great manager, great coach. But yeah, at least top 8 finish, 100% top 8 finish. Whether or not you'll get, the likes of Europa League, might get conference. That'll obviously come later on in the season when other teams are struggling around you and you've just got to keep on the consistency. But yeah. Shout out Prime, big up Melonhead. Thanks for that. That is my little nickname though. When's the snack tasting video coming? When I get another box, because I did eat the last box. My whole family tried it and loved every single thing, so everything went so quickly. But yeah, if anyone doesn't know, you can get like a box from Snack Surprise every month, and you get like a box of a different country every month of like their snacks, their chocolate and crisps and drinks and stuff. So yeah, I got an American one last month. It was really, really good. I think I'll get another one. Ravi asked where I think Atletico will finish the season. I think we'll win it again. The recruitment's been amazing. If we recruit a striker, I think we'll be fun. I think the squad depth is amazing. So yeah, I think we'll do pretty well again. The UCL is a different story because again, we try and go in pragmatically and it never really works. I know we've done like relatively okay the last few seasons in UCL or the last 5 or 6 years, but it's always different. And when we come up against the likes of like Chelsea, who are really attacking minded, really set up perfectly, I know it's not an excuse, but when we played them last season in the Champions League, we had a COVID outbreak. There was loads of players missing. Felix had just come back, for example. Trippier was on his ban. Suarez got COVID. Carrasco got COVID. Like, loads of our players got COVID at that time when we played them. We just weren't prepared. We weren't ready as a squad to enter that UCL at that point. So we massively struggled. So this year, hopefully it's not the space, not the same, sorry, because, yeah, it wasn't good to watch, especially on watch-alongs. I'm going to answer a few more questions, guys. I'm going to let everyone go and enjoy your Monday evening because I've rambled on a little bit, haven't I? Kendall, thoughts on your best Newcastle midfield? For me, currently right now, with the way that we play, it's kind of like a 5-3-2 situation. So for me, it would be Willock, Hayden and Almiron for me in midfield, probably, which is what we play at the moment. So yeah, Hayden's dropped off a little bit though, and so's Almiron. So maybe we need, I don't know, like Joelinton might slot back in there. I don't know. It'll be questionable. How good will Suarez be at Atleti? He'll be amazing. He'll get 20 goals again easily this season. Although Correa is looking really strong at the moment. So if we need to go back to like 4-4-2 and play Suarez up front, because I'm sorry, I don't understand why he's not playing. I need someone to explain to me why El Cholo's not starting him. It's just very baffling to me. I don't really know why. Don't know why. And yeah, as Daniel says, at least we lost to the Champions League winners. I did say after we lost to Chelsea that I wanted them to go and win the Champions League, because it's much easier to take when you lose to the team who won it, because then you think, they were so good that we lost. So yeah, it did. It definitely did help a little bit, 100%. Other comments have gone back down again. Oh, shout out Saeed as well. Go on, subscribe to. I always got the wrong way. Go on, subscribe to Saeed's channel as well. Honestly, one of the realest guys that I know. One of the most helpful guys. And he's massive. He's big time now. Big time YouTuber now. So please go and check out his content as well. Man United fan, but he does loads of content of loads of other stuff as well. So please go and check him out on socials and on YouTube. Please. Adam says, I think this is a comment about Traore. He brings pace and strength, but end product isn't great, so he could be the new Aaron Lennon for us, but he just strikes serious feet in defenders. Yeah, as I say, there is good elements to him, but if you want a goal scorer, that's not going to be it. But I guess Son will maybe come in for that. I don't really know. Did I watch all of Line of Duty? Yes, I did actually. I love Line of Duty. I thought the finale was absolutely crap, to be honest. And I was expecting there to be another season, but I don't think there is going to be. Are you a fan of Igal? I love Igal. Igal's one of my friends. Like, he's amazing. Yeah, go and check Igal's content out as well because he's so funny. Honestly, he's one of the funniest guys I know. He's fantastic. He's amazing. Yes, I'll make you a mod shortly. I will do that. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up because, oh my God, an hour and 10 minutes. That's crazy. Thank you all for tuning in with me. I'm genuinely so thankful for that. What realistic manager would you replace Steve Bruce with to manage Newcastle? Eddie Howe for me has always been the realistic next choice because I think that's probably the best we could get at this point. I really liked the Brentford manager before they got promoted as well. I do still like him now, but obviously he's not going to want to go from Brentford to Newcastle when they're showing more ambition than us. So yeah, I think Eddie Howe's the only realistic replacement for us right now. We're not going to get the likes of friggin' Zidane. Do you know what I mean? So Carlo Ancelotti is going to Real Madrid. So yeah, going to be Eddie Howe for me at the moment. Would you rather Newcastle sign Saul and he plays for you till the end of his career, or you have 100 million to spend on 5 different players? I think it would be the second option, only because I don't think Saul would cover all what we need personally for me. We need about 5 players to make the squad to a decent level right now. So I think I would take that option right now. Lewis asks, how do I think Liverpool will perform this season? Do you think they'll win the league? I think winning the league will be a push because they haven't recruited massively well. Obviously, they've got Canate in, but is that it? I can't remember off the top of my head if you've got anyone else in. But yeah, hopefully there's no serious injuries to the squad this season because that's awful. But I just think you're maybe a couple of injuries away from not being on the level that you were. I know you had injuries in the season that you won the league, but I just think Chelsea and Man City, even Man United, maybe have better squad depth. So I think that's going to be where it pushes. But I do think you'll get top 4. Definitely get top 4. Sohan says, hey, Kendall. Hey, Sohan. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, as well. Really, really thank you. The Lawn Toffee says, Rafa is brilliant. He brings passion, energy, and desire to play for the badge. I love him already. We've lacked qualities like him since Moyes. Yeah, I think he's a great manager. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of animosity there because he managed Liverpool and he's a Liverpool legend, won the Champions League with them. But yeah, he's a great manager, and anyone being upset about the manager, about Rafa, I understand it, but honestly, just stick with him and you'll love him. He really does want players to play for the shirt. And he said when he managed us that Newcastle weren't a stepping stone. We're just not going to be a stepping stone club, which is what we are now. So yeah, you should be really happy with Everton. He's brilliant. He's just great. Adam says, been a great show. Thanks for covering the questions. I'll drop by for the next one. Thank you so much. Honestly, it means more to me than the support, and everyone just tuning in, just I'm not speaking to myself. Do you know what I mean? It's just brilliant. Big up Ryan as well. He does loads and loads of stuff on Sarcasm City. If you go and check Sarcasm City out as well. If you're in the comments, by the way, and I haven't shouted out your YouTube channel or anything like that, please let me know and I will shout out the YouTube channel. Graham Potter would be great for Newcastle. I did say this as well, Ryan, but we're not going to get Graham Potter because Brighton have got way more ambition than us and they do better than us. So yeah, we're not going to get Graham Potter. John says 46 likes. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. See if we can get to 50 in the next couple of minutes before the end of the show. I'll be really grateful for that. Ryan says thoughts on Love Island. You know what, Ryan? I didn't watch all of the series, I must admit. I know obviously we said we were going to do streams and stuff, but there was no point me even doing them because I hated the series. I thought everyone was boring. I thought the casting was super poor. I thought there was some really abusive behaviour on show, from the likes of Faye and Jake, who I honestly think are 2 of the most worst Love Island contestants in history. And Faye should have been ejected for the way she treated Teddy. I think it was absolutely disgraceful. And it completely put me off for the whole series. I haven't even watched the final tonight. I just watched 2-1. I watched 5 minutes and I thought, you know what? I actually can't put myself through this. So, yeah, that's all I've got to say, really. And Liam and Millie won. Sorry, spoiler alert, by the way. Sorry if anyone didn't watch it. But he literally cheated on her. I know it's not cheating on her because he weren't official or anything, but you know what I mean? They were probably exclusive and he went and did that. So, yeah, very, very poor. Very, very poor. Daniel says, go and subscribe to the channel. Please, one of the most amazing ladies on YouTube. Thank you so much, Daniel. Honestly, yeah, but please subscribe, guys, if you're watching and you haven't already subscribed, and click the notification bell for obviously when I go live in the future, or if any videos become available. It helps me out massively, because obviously I do this like part-time now. So yeah, it'd be super amazing if you could. And Ryan thinks that Liverpool are going to win the league this season. It's a big shout. It is a big shout, Ryan. But, you know, stranger things have happened, and you've won it before. So, yeah, I think you'll be good. 2 clean sheets down, 2 wins. I think you've done well. We're on 48 likes. Oh, John says we're on 50 likes. So thank you so much, guys. If you're watching and liked the video, I will obviously end there because 50 likes is amazing. That was my target, and I'll end there. When we've ranted for, I ranted and answered questions for 1 hour 15 minutes, which is crazy. So honestly, thank you so much for tuning in. You'll never understand how grateful I am for the support, especially on socials, in everything that I do. Like, honestly, the positive messages. I get a lot of negative messages, and I know a lot of people on social media do. If you have followings and stuff, even if you don't have followings, you get horrible messages. But honestly, like, the positives far outweigh any negatives that I ever receive, and I will never be able to fully express how grateful I am for those positive people and the friends that I've made just through doing this, like the opportunities that I've got just through doing this. I'm always forever grateful. So thank you so much for everybody tuning in. I hope you all guys all have a great week. Depending on what my plans are for the weekend, you know, or whatever happens, because I don't really know at this point. Might do a watch along, might do a couple of match review shows. I'll probably be on the Magpie channel. I'll probably be on the football terrace, obviously be on Midnight Vibes on Sunday as well. But I'm going to try and get more content out. I have made a second channel as well, which I'm going to start promoting in the next few weeks. But it's going to be mostly for non-football and content. It's going to be like vlogs and stuff like that, because I want to get more into that side of things. Like, because I watched the likes of like Saeed doing vlogs. I watched like Lee Gunner and stuff doing vlogs, and I really liked it. So I want to get more into that. So I'm going to make a second channel for vlogs and stuff like that. So when that comes out, I will let everybody know, and please go and subscribe and support that like you have done me for the last year or so. This month marks a year since I've been in this industry, which is like incredible. That year's been amazing and bittersweet and sad at times, but honestly, it's been like the best thing I ever did delving into this situation. It's all because of you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for the support. I'll stop on now. Please, again, if you're watching this back and you haven't watched it live, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, retweet this if you see the link. Just honestly, any support is fantastic to me, and means the world. So hope you all have a great week, guys. Leave your comments below for the predictions for the league, for the prediction for the weekend games. Follow me over on Twitter, which is at Kendall Rowan, which is here, Twitter and Instagram as well, if you follow me there. Also TikTok, which I'm going to get into more as well. Follow me there, and I'll speak to you all there. So have a great week, guys, and thank you again.